What's going on, guys? It's Real with Jordan and Demi. Demi is out today, but I have two very special guests. We have Madilyn Bailey and Rachel Grae. What's going on, guys?
What's up?
Hey, you.
Now, you guys are both singers. We've been trying to match people who are have some kind of something in common, and you guys are both singers. You guys both sing, so that's what you guys have in common. Actually, you guys have both worked
minimally.
Yeah. You guys have also done Boyce Avenue songs, so.
Oh, I haven't. I've toured with them. I haven't actually recorded a song with them before.
Oh, okay.
So I haven't toured them, but I've recorded a song.
Okay,
so the opposite.
So together, you guys.
somewhere.
Yeah. Okay, so and Madilyn, you are pregnant.
I am. I am currently pregnant.
We'll just get that out of the way. So, because I feel like sometimes you watch an interview on TV or something, and you're like, "Are they pregnant? Are they? I can't." And then, so we'll get it out there.
Yeah.
Get it out there. And you have you've kind of had your pregnancy journey on social media.
Yes. Yeah. It's been a long 2-year process with a lot of doctors involved, so a lot less romantic than you'd think.
And Rachel, you are not pregnant.
I'm not pregnant.
So
No.
we don't have that in common.
No, we don't have that one in common.
So your latest singles, Madilyn, it's been a while since you released something, right?
Yeah, so I'm releasing my debut album in August 23rd. My debut album, Hollywood Dead's coming out, but I've been releasing singles for the last couple of months, which is really exciting, and it's cool to finally have this project be out there. I've been planning it for a really long time.
And it's your debut, right?
Yeah, it's my first album. Had 12 songs, like a full-length album. It was a lot of work. I don't know if they'll ever release 12 songs again all at one time. But I'm glad I did it. It was definitely a really cool exploration into like who I am as an artist, a deeper dive into what I would sound like sonically from top to bottom of an album, like what kind of story I want to tell, what kind of songs I want to sing. So I think if anybody is like questioning who they are as an artist, I would say put together a full-length album. It will take you through a journey, and by the time you get to the end of it, you will have a lot better understanding of like who you are and what kind of songs you want to sing.
Right, and that's one thing I've noticed working with artists the last few years is people care less about making full-length albums in general. They want, because I've heard the argument that people won't listen to the 7th or 8th or 9th track on an album, and so you're better off just releasing singles. But I consider an album to be an artist's, that's their statement. That's like if you're a writer, it's your version of a novel, Yeah. So that being said, Rachel, you haven't released an album. You've just done singles. Now you don't have as long a track record as Madilyn. Madilyn, you have 10 plus years
Yeah,
of
I'm so
recorded
old.
music.
I'm super old.
You started really. But Rachel, you've only been recording for a couple of years. Yeah. So how are you feeling in terms of the whole like, what do I do next? Do I make an album? Do I not make an album?
I will definitely be making an album. I think it's really cool. I mean, I started releasing music almost 2 years ago now, and the coolest part is honestly getting to know who you are as an artist, and I feel like the more that I evolve as a person is the more my music evolves as well, where I go from sad girl pop to mad girl pop, and it's kind of just like bringing everybody along with me in my journey of figuring out who I am, because I feel like everybody's always doing that as well.
Yeah, and both you guys really don't have a specific genre. I guess you're just pop and just different styles of pop. Rachel, I think your music is the music you listen to when you're staring out the window when it's raining.
I'd say that's a good idea to listen to when you're doing that.
And you're known for kind of sadder songs, more melancholy songs, more introspective songs. Are you okay with that reputation, or do you wish you had more of like a happy, bouncy kind of?
I think slowly that it's going to become both, and I think it slowly is going to. My most recent song is called You Suck.
You Suck, that's what I was going to
say. And I wouldn't say that's necessarily sad. I'd say it's a little bit on the angrier side. I'm a very happy person, and I think when people actually know me online or have met me in person, they're like, what's going on, Rach? Like, what? Like, why are you so sad? I'm not. I think I use music as therapy and just a way of coping with life, and I like to put it into my music so that other people can feel it with me. But there will be songs that are a lot happier coming out as well, and I think it will start to become skewed and just me showing every emotion that I have as a person.
Now, Madilyn, you've been on social media and big on YouTube for a long time. Do you feel like you have anything resembling a private life now?
I actually think as a musician, like this is the one like influencer category that like you can have a lot of privacy with, like because there aren't a lot of opportunities actually for me to share my personality other than like posts on like Instagram or something. Otherwise, I'm just sharing my songs and I guess the stories behind the songs would be maybe a little bit of where the personality comes out. But I feel like I'm pretty good at sharing what I want to share and not sharing what I don't want to share. Yeah.
And Rachel, do you feel like you have you tried to stay away from being like an influencer? And like I think it would be hard to be any kind of singer, musician in the pop sphere. Now, if you were like an underground punk band, it's a different deal. But do you feel like, you have to be sort of like an influencer as well as a musician at the same time, or?
I think if you're a musician, you are influencing. So in a way,
good answer.
If you're in the public eye, you should be influencing and in some way an influencer, or you shouldn't have a platform. So I'd say 100% on both ends. Like if you're a musician, you should be putting out the right message into the world, and I hope that everybody takes it from me and is influenced by the things that I have to say. So I'd say in that way for sure. I also love to show who I am as a person online and let people actually become my friend. I call my fan base my friend base.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something that I take pride in, for sure.
I think it makes a huge difference when, this sounds so obvious, but, we all know artists. I think a good reflection of an artist's popularity and their connection with their fans is what their comment section looks like. When you drop stuff, you're always going to have your friends are going to be like, oh, this is so great. Oh, you look so great. Blah, blah, this sounds amazing. But like when you have people going on there and saying, come to Indianapolis. When are you going to be in Minnesota? When is it? I think that's a whole different deal. So, that's something, Madilyn, you have so many followers. Do you see everything that comes across? I can't imagine what it's like to be someone with 1 million followers or even a couple 100,000 followers. Can you just use Instagram like a regular person, or is it just constantly, what's your experience like on social media because you have so many followers?
I mean, I love social media. I fell in love with social media the first moment I found out about it. I've always wanted to be I feel like there are some artists out there that are like, oh, I'll do social media because it'll help my music. I was never like that. I was like, I want to do social media because I love social media and I love connecting with the fans. And I like exactly like you were saying, like they become your friends.
I agree with what you're saying,
because you spend so much time with them.
Right.
But no, I love social media. I love how social media and music can combine in like I think the coolest way. I think the coolest some of the coolest content is music related and social media related, and the way that they come together is so fun. I'd say that I think like you were saying, your fan base is a reflection of like you and your personality, and my fam is just, they're so positive and they're so funny and weird and like goofy and like sassy and like, I don't know, I just, they're so fun. And I'd say that over the years that it's really just only gotten bigger, but the same energy. Like it's been the same energy from the beginning, which is cool.
How do you feel about the idea that there's, you guys have embraced social media, but I feel like there are artists who like don't want to be bothered with it, or like, no, don't look at me, but also listen to my song. Do you feel like it's almost like just part of the deal? Like if you're in the pop music sphere, like you have to do it.
I mean, to each their own, obviously. If you don't want to be on social media, don't be on social media. But today's world, social media obviously is really, really present. And I think it's really important to just express yourself in many ways. I think the coolest part of social media is like you have your music, but you also have another platform to show who you are and be able to connect in so many other ways. So if you are a musician, I recommend going on social media, just get to know your following, become friends with them. They're the people supporting you and making you who you are. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I also think like each person has their own ability to make their, like you were saying, make their social media what you want to make it. You can make sure your comment section is clean. You can promote the kind of attitudes and personality. You draw people to you that are similar to you. So you do kind of like create your audience, like curate your own audience around you, and people who like want to listen to your music will find you. And No, I think I understand why there are some artists out there who say, I don't want to do social media, it's very toxic, but I think that you can make social media a really positive place to be, and that's kind of where I'm at, where I'm like, I want to create a community that's safe for people to come, be weird, be goofy, be themselves, listen to music, enjoy similar things, read the same books, watch the same TV shows, and like feel like there's somewhere in the world that they like have a group of people that are similar to
community.
them. Yeah.
For sure, yeah.
How much do you guys pay attention to what other artists are doing and say, like, I like what they're doing? I should.
You could go first.
Is that a sore subject?
No. It's an interesting question. I mean, I definitely listen to a lot of music. I think I get really inspired by other people releasing new music, like different lyrics, different production styles. So yeah, I definitely listen to a lot of music. I definitely watch what people are releasing. But I don't know that. I think I still have my own voice in how I write my music, release my songs, and what I do on social media. I have my own twist on everything that I do.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think nowadays it's easy to compare yourself because there's so many people online doing the same thing as you, where I love supporting other artists online. It's my favorite thing ever. I follow so many artists and it's really inspiring. But it's more like I'm looking at what they're doing and I'm inspired by it, but I also have my own lane where I love to see what they're doing and then doing something different with my own thing. So again, I love supporting it. I try my best not to compare or think about like, oh, what's this artist doing and how can I do it, whatever, like them. It's almost like, okay, I love what this artist is doing. How do I do it differently to become more of who I am as a person?
Let's talk about the music itself and not social media. Are you guys constantly writing down lyrics? People who don't make music like me just assume that everyone who writes music carries around a little moleskin notebook and is like, oh, the trees, how, are you constantly writing, or do you have set aside time for writing? How does that work?
Constantly.
Absolutely constantly.
Constantly.
My husband jokes, he's like, if Madilyn looks like she's spaced out and she's on a different planet, she's writing a song in her head right then in the moment. And I could be like in the middle of a conversation. I can like anywhere.
It's like bad to the
And
point.
also the moleskin. I mean, this is it. You pull it
Right.
out and you're like, I have an idea. I have like
I feel like there's a lot of
thousands
people who
notes.
like physically writing in a notebook.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, my notes app is disgusting. It's like a grocery list and then random like heartfelt lyrics underneath. It's like over. Like if you're going through it, you think I'm crazy. But it even has gotten to a point where like I'm in the middle of sleeping and I wake up with a melody and like grab my phone and I start singing it in the middle of the night. Wake up and I'm like, Grae, that was like, what girl?
Yeah. So I'm obviously not. I interview musicians. I'm not one myself, but I do sometimes when you're in that like half awake, half asleep thing. You can like hear melodies that like aren't real yet, that are just like your mind made them.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's crazy. And so we live in this cycle where you have to come out with a new single every 2 or 3 months. Do you sometimes wish you lived in the world maybe in the 90s or even the 2000s where you could release something and then chill for a year, or do you like the constant?
I love it.
I know, me too. I'm like, no, I want to work all the time.
I was expecting you guys to say, no, I would like to chill and, you know.
No, I'm just happier when I'm working and writing and creating and making stuff, whether it's music or content, or it doesn't really like matter whether it's writing a song or filming a video. Like I love all of it, and I'm so much happier. I'm so much happier when I'm working.
Me too. I'm the same exact way. But I also think it's important to bring everybody along with like where you're at emotionally and where you are in life. I think it connects everybody even closer, and you could really help a lot of people when you're constantly sharing your thoughts, and it's like you're putting down thoughts that other people can't put words to. So I think it's really important to just keep them in the loop all the time with your life and allow people to connect with you.
And also to say, like, I've been doing this for a very long time. Like we discussed, I'm very old.
You started early.
I started when I was 16.
Yeah.
Now that she's pregnant, she thinks she's like a grandma.
No, but my channel's like 14 years old or something. It's like kind of a lot. Anyway, but I've been doing it for a long time, and it is okay to take time off if you want to take time off. The last 2 years of my life have been very stressful in the sense of like medically speaking. I've had surgeries, I've had lots of doctor appointments, and so my content definitely slowed down over the last 2 years just because of life. It happens, but yeah, it's okay to take a little bit of time off. people won't forget about you, and also you'll always have an opportunity. There's always another train to catch. Like you'll never, oh, I missed the train, I'll never get on one again. Like it's not true. So take the time off if you need it for your mental health. Come back at it with more energy and more experience and more perspective.
And don't do a live stream from the operating room.
Yeah, probably not.
I'm sure that's been done. I'm sure, no. But I'm sure it's been done before. And Madilyn, you started doing covers. Was the first thing you had? You became known for. What was the transition like when at what point were you like, I need to make original music. I need to like make my own stuff. I don't want to be just a cover artist.
So I was always doing original songs. So I would do like the ratio would be like for every 4 covers, I would release an original song or something like that. Right. So I was always writing songs. I was always releasing covers and originals. I still release covers and originals.
Yeah.
I think covers are just a really fun way to like draw in an audience that might not know about who I am. And then when I make music that's similar to what the covers sound like, and it's a good introduction into who I am. Also, it's literally changed my life. Like it made music my full-time career, which is awesome. It taught me so much about like vocal arrangement, song arrangement, picking the right key for my voice, and also recording. Like when I was first coming to LA to record my covers, I would fly in a 3-day period, I would sing 10 songs, film 10 videos, and then go back to Wisconsin, and then have content for 2 or 3 months. And so I learned how to record vocals really fast, really well, under pressure. And so it's been really, really helpful with like writing sessions now, because now I can just go in and like spit out a melody or sing something. Like I'm just so much more confident with my ability vocally in a studio.
Yeah, I will. I would assume. Yeah, you had to practice that.
A lot of practice.
Yeah, and Rachel, you're a Jersey girl, and you're a proud Jersey girl. You actually filmed. You filmed a music video, one of your favorite spots recently. I did. That's funny. If you do a Google News search, the most recent thing is Rachel's like doing a music video, and her favorite was a pizza spot or something, or
it was a restaurant that like literally everybody goes to in the town. So
yeah. And
fun.
my Demi, who's not here, she's from the Bronx, and we talk about East Coast versus West Coast. When you're out here versus in New York, what's the vibe like in terms of the music industry, the difference?
Music industry is mainly out here now.
Right.
I love New York. New York is my favorite place in the world. I lived there for a little bit. I'm there every week. I love the people there. I love the energy there. But the biggest thing to me is the hustle culture. I love, we're the same in the aspect of, we love to work, and it's, I feel weird when I'm not.
Yeah.
So I love coming out here, and when I'm out here, it's every single day I'm working, and I come out here specifically to write and meet people in the industry and everything. And New York for me is kind of I get to chill back and actually enjoy life a little bit aside from work. I do work there as well, but LA to me is the hustle as well. When
I've worked with New York artists, I feel like they have to be pushed more to promote their stuff, to push their stuff out there, because I feel like there's a mentality in New York that don't brag, don't talk about how great you are until you have something to show for it. And so I feel like in LA, people are like, look at my thing, look how great my thing is before it's even being established as great. And it's almost like sitting back in New York, everyone's like, yeah, I made that song. Isn't it great? It
definitely has a different approach, but I also think New York, East Coast, is very much tell it as it is type of energy.
I feel like New York is so blunt. I'm like, that's what I feel. I feel like
with me, I'm always like, hey guys, hear my stuff. I guess it depends on the person. I could see what you mean a little bit.
Yeah.
I love promoting my stuff. I like to share it to everybody 24/7. I never miss a day. So
I have a friend of mine. I went to a school night show here in LA. It's a showcase, and I don't know. Have you done school night before? Yeah. I feel like everyone's done school night, But I had when you're in New York and you're at a show, you never talk to a stranger or if someone's over. I was had my camera stuff with me, and some girl came in, she's like, "Hey, how are you?" "Hey, you new in town?" She's telling me, and I'm like, you would never do that in New York. Everyone's too cool, and so it was an adjustment for me to get used to.
I have such an interesting it's such a different outlook for me.
I'm a guy, so I feel like maybe that's part of it. You know?
Well, for me, I want to talk to every single stranger that walks past me because I could talk to a
Sure.
wall, and I love it.
I don't talk
Yeah.
to any
Yeah,
strangers.
see, I love it. I love
No
it.
strangers.
I'm like the
Madelyn's
type of
no,
person.
no strangers for me.
No, I'm the type of person, like, I've sat and had a conversation with a homeless person before. Like, I genuinely love it, and I love meeting random people. I guess some people are like that, but I feel like it's more, I could be wrong, but I feel like in New York, it's more, everybody's talking to everybody and wants to meet everyone. And LA is more like head down,
Yeah.
grind,
I feel like
and get out
specifically
of
at
it.
shows, it was
Yeah.
like that. I don't know.
Yeah, interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah. And Madilyn, are you've been out here for how long now?
8 years.
You doesn't sound
Another
thrilled
really
about that.
no, just another long. I've been here for 8 years.
No, I don't mean it like that. I mean, are you used to it? Do you feel like you're like in LA for
Oh,
life
I love
or a
LA. From
person?
literally the second I stepped off the plane, I was like, oh, these are my people. No, it's just there's so many creative people with so many like different mindsets, different perspectives, different backgrounds, and it was so refreshing because I came from a small town of like literally 1,000 people were in my town in Wisconsin. So I wasn't really exposed to very much. I was also homeschooled growing up, so even less exposed. And so you'd think I would step off the plane in LA and be like, oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed. I gotta get out of here. But I was just like, my goal was just like, I gotta figure out how to make enough money so I can move to LA.
What if that's what you did? You like looked out, you like stepped off the plane, you're like, oh no, thanks, I'm out of here.
I
And
mean,
you gotta-
fair,
Yeah.
absolutely fair. That also to be said, like you don't have to move anywhere specific to do music, especially now that social media exists. And I actually encourage people to stay where you're at. If you're in an affordable place with affordable food, affordable rent, affordable gas, like just stay there. Make your content. Like don't move until you absolutely have to.
They'll come find you now.
They'll come, yeah, exactly. Because LA is expensive. It's very expensive. I feel very blessed that like my YouTube channel was taking off at around the same time that I wanted to move, and like I said, the covers were life changing for me.
And Rachel, you're still on the East Coast, or like, do you feel the drive to move out here at all?
I love coming here and working with everybody. Same thing, like everybody's so creative out here, and I love working with people out here. I'm here probably every month, if not every other month. So I feel like I already kind of am bi-coastal in a way. I go back and forth. Like I feel like you really don't need to be here in order to be a successful artist anymore. You have social media. It is a lot to do with the connections that you can make, but you can make that anywhere you are now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's times where I'm like, I'd love to come out here and stay for like 5 months. Why not? But maybe one day. It's never like, never say never.
Yeah.
Never say never.
And Madilyn, you famously, of course, went on AGT and had the whole song made out of comments. And
Yeah.
two observations from that. First, I think it's cool that that song isn't nearly your most streamed song. I think that would be nice if that like your song from the show isn't like your main song. I think that's really cool. But since that song was made out of
Hate comments.
hate comments, yeah,
From our YouTube
yeah.
channel,
If you want to pause this video and look at Madilyn's hate comment performance on AGT. But since you kind of put it out there on Front Street, what had the comments been like? What were the comments like after? Where was everyone like, "Oh, you're great after all"? Like we were wrong.
Surprisingly, actually, I started getting a lot less hate comments, but I also think it's because they know I'm gonna write a song. So if they leave a mean comment, I'm like,
You're
well,
giving your fuel.
I'm gonna make money
You're
off of
giving
it.
your fuel.
So
Yeah,
don't. Yeah,
Everything can
exactly.
be monetized, right?
Yeah, everything can be monetized. Exactly.
And so Rachel, what have you got? You got a tour coming up, right? You're doing tour in
Yes.
September.
Yep, September and October. Yeah.
What do you like on the road? What's life for you like on the road? How much touring have you done?
I've done one tour before this. I love it. I tour with my band. They're incredible. It's great. I'm like in love with live performing now. I think it's the best thing in the world. There's one thing of like being online and being able to share it that way, but also meeting everybody that supports you in person, having the crowd sing back to you, and actually getting that face-to-face connection is insane and the best feeling in the world.
Speaking of in person, you the timing of your careers, you were kind of getting it together during COVID, during quarantine. So do you feel like that was actually like a beneficial period to you because you could kind of
I do.
get your stuff, your shit together?
Yeah, no. I mean, the first year of my career was online, actually offline. I took a year with my management team and everybody to actually figure out who I am as an artist, and I started writing music, and I never was releasing it. I was just figuring out what my voice was and how I wanted to be and who I wanted to be, really. And it was such a cool experience to actually get to process, like, and figure out what I wanted my sound to be, who I am as a person, and I didn't have to do that all online. It was really refreshing to actually get that time with myself. Like, literally nobody could leave the house, where I got to learn so much about me and what I want to say to everybody. And then when it came time, that was when I started all my social media, releasing everything. But there were benefits, there were pros and cons to it, obviously, for everybody. But I definitely missed the live space, but now it's back. So I'm very happy that that's here again.
Are you a healthy person on tour, or a let's go out and
Very healthy person.
very healthy? That's one of my favorite questions to ask, and I feel like I've gotten more recently. I've gotten more. No, I'm healthy. I get to bed soon. We just interviewed Cannons for the last episode, and Michelle from Cannons with her amazing outfit. You would think she'd be like the life of the party. She's like, no, I'm in bed by like 10 o'clock. So I just think that the days of like rock star behavior have kind of like,
Not for me.
I don't know, touring's hard already on its own, bare minimum. You're already exhausted, and then your voice, when you're exhausted, performs differently, and so then you have to like make sure you're taking care of it, and because if you lose your voice, you can't play a show.
Exactly. Very important.
Yeah, and Madilyn, you've had this interesting situation that your album will drop and then your child will drop.
Yeah, I know. It was,
So normally you would do interviews like this, you'd be doing shows, you'd be doing TV. But you're going to be on maternity leave, basically.
Yeah.
So what have you thought about what you're going to do like once that time comes to promote the album?
Well, luckily, the album comes out in August, and then we have a few more videos that'll come out in September, October, and then
Banking the content.
Baby comes at the end of November. I think it's perfect timing because it's already that holiday season, which is already, like, the industry slows down anyways during the holiday season, so I'm like, it'll be perfect. I'll get to take a little bit of time off. I say that now, but then
You're not taking any time off.
I'm gonna be
Wishful
back
thinking.
working like a week into it. I'm gonna be like, come on, pass me the paper. I'm ready to write.
Yeah.
No, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm excited for Baby. I'm excited for the album. It's funny because like we didn't really plan to be releasing an album while being pregnant. It just kind of happened to coincide at the same time. Like my doctor was like, you have to get pregnant. And so we've just been trying for the past 2 years, and so then it ended up happening at exactly the same time. my management team was like, oh my gosh, that's so much. No, but it's actually been so fun, and I think like having the album to think about while being pregnant has been kind of a relief, because I feel like otherwise I'm kind of a little bit neurotic, so I feel like I would just be like thinking about the pregnancy all the time. But luckily I've had like photo shoots and video shoots and interviews and sessions, and so I've stayed like quite busy, which is great for my brain.
It's also really cool to document, see it
exactly.
during the process of like, you're saying you're making videos, and it's cool that you're going to look back on those and be like, oh, she was actually in me. So.
I know.
Yeah, and she needs to do like the Blue Ivy cameo on a song when she's 2. Are you going to do that? Like have the like?
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, if she's a singer, I don't know. Yeah. I can sing, but Jimmy can't. So there's like a 50-50
It's a
chance here.
Oh yeah. Or maybe she'll be like a trumpet player or something.
Yeah.
Maybe the musicality will manifest itself.
I can
in
only
the way.
imagine she's going to have a very loud personality.
There's no chance she's going to
based off of the two
be
of
quiet
us.
and reserved.
No,
yeah.
no.
So before we end this, I want to know about you guys when you're not making music. What are you guys watching right now? What's your streaming habits?
Oh no.
I see the husband nodding his head over here.
Love Island, The Bachelor.
Oh my God, I love you. Everybody hates my answer because they're like, Rachel, like anything else. It's
so
Love
dumb.
Island. Love Island is my thing.
Do you guys?
It's great. Yeah.
Do you guys have a ranking system for dating shows? Like, there's the good ones and the bad ones, or are they all kind of?
Love Island's the best in my opinion.
It's great. I love Love Island. The Bachelor can be good sometimes, hit or miss. You know what I mean? The one with the pods on Netflix. What's it called? Love Is Blind. Is that what it's called?
No.
Or is it called? What is it called?
We'll
Jimmy.
We'll put it underneath the
Bobby.
we'll put it at the bottom of the screen right now.
Isn't it Love Is Blind? I think it's Love Is Blind.
Well, Love Is Blind is the one
where they
where-
like meet each other in the pods, and then they have to propose before they like come out.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. We'll have
There's
Anyway,
so many.
that
We'll
one's
have to-
great.
we'll have to
There's
get-
so many.
You'd like that one. That one's great.
Okay.
So you guys don't watch anything? Do you guys watch anything like deep and serious, or is it all like?
So I'm like really into mental health. I listen to a lot of podcasts. I love listening to interviews.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that stuff. So I wouldn't say it's on streaming, but big YouTube watcher. Love watching the one-offs that I see. Motivational speakers is definitely my thing too.
Yeah.
So I definitely have a deeper side where it's not always love.
So you're a TED Talk person.
Big time.
Have you thought about what you would give your TED Talk on if you were going to do a TED Talk? Put you on the spot. No, I assume.
That's interesting.
Well, I think a lot of
There's a
people,
lot.
that watch them actually have ideas for what they would say.
Of course, yeah.
As long as you get the cool headset with the Britney
Right.
Spears microphone.
Sound legit.
Yeah.
Feel it.
Do you have when you perform? Have you thought would it be cool? If you had,
I have thought about it, but I'm not a dancer, so
You're
I
not
don't know
doing
if I need.
You're not doing choreo.
Yeah, not yet. You
Yeah.
never know.
Yeah.
Never say never again, but I don't know.
Do you have moves?
I think I'm gonna stick to singing. I don't. I'm not sure.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me on the show. We'll put your socials right underneath there right now.
Amazing.
Right there. There it goes. And give us the date on the album release.
Hollywood Dead drops August 23rd. Really excited about it. Full-length album, 12 songs. Yeah, I'm excited. It's basically been the music that I've been writing for the last 4 or 5 years, all describing my journey of coming to LA, being excited, hitting that disillusionment stage, giving up who I thought I needed to be or who I thought I should be in this industry, allowing that grief process to happen and then coming around to the realization of hope that all of these experiences I've gone through and all of these hardships that I've experienced are making me a better person, a better writer, a better artist, and then also coming around to realizing that I would not be doing anything other than music.
Well, I feel like I just watched a Netflix movie right now. That was
Yeah.
so. And Rachel, when's the tour kick off?
Tour is September and October. So September
It's
20th
12. Oh, okay. I was going to be
starts.
cool and yeah.
I have a headline show, and then September 22nd is the tour.
Okay.
But I do have a song coming out in September as well called Hope You're Proud. And that song's about losing somebody very close to you. So always releasing music as well, so definitely check it out.
Okay, Grae. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, thank you.
And of course, that'll be it for me. Go to popdust.com for the latest in pop culture and music news. Follow me on Instagram at Jordan Edwards Studio. Follow Demi at Demi_Ramos. Until next time, we'll see you later.